Good afternoon, scholars, and welcome back to the Restricted Collection, a podcast about tabletop games. I'm your host, the head librarian, Chad, and today we are continuing the campaign play-along with the Drowned Quarter. I've had a kind of topsy-turvy couple of weeks, so no joke, I need to catch up. I feel like I'm 2 weeks behind at this point, or no, I'm at the tail end of, I'm catching up. That's the important thing. So, the Drowned Quarter. The sound of crackling electricity greets you as you enter the undersea dome. Flooded trenches and crumbling ruins cover the round plaza on the sea floor. Try as you might, your eyes keep drifting to the ocean beyond the alien barrier. A bloom of jellyfish float dreamily through the tenebrous depths. If the energy field were to disappear for any region, the expedition would surely be swept away. Because we were heading east, you follow the expedition past pits of deep water and sunken ruins to the source of the glow and presumably the energy field. Inside it, you find a spinning orrery, a complex mechanism of hovering spheres and whirling gears that sit in constant electrical current. Locked at its core is an incandescent orb. Ruby gasps. It's some kind of pumping station. I'd wager that orb is an important part of it. It's possible that stealing it could bring the ocean down on our heads. She smiles rakishly. So you'd better be ready to run. Before you can object, she sets to operating the ancient controls. There may be a way to take the orb without drowning. Task, no place like home. Your head spins as you look up at the alien orrery. The sight brings back that first night, the night Tillinghast took you off the streets. The stars that night were bright, and you can't forget their peculiar formation, the same formation in front of you now. Away from the constant grind and concerns of your life in Arkham, you've done some thinking. Tillinghast's words were kind, but his tone was harsh, cold, unfeeling. Reflecting on it, you have only garnered the businessman's attention when you were useful. There was no kindness in his act when he saved you. He acquired you as yet another lackey in his quiver of debtors. This is the umpteenth last job you've been on. Is Tillinghast really worth his word? I'm going to trust him because it lets me heal a mental trauma. The other option removes progress and can hurt me, so I remove our progress. I've been really good about the progress because this is fairly straightforward in true solo. So let's enjoy that. Okay. The Drowned Quarter on easy/standard. Skulls are -X. X is half the number of real locations rounded down. Cultists, we don't have any. Tablets, -4. Jeez. If you fail, place one of your clues on your location. Jeez. Okay. Elder Things, -3, -5 instead if your location is not flooded. The sunken ruins. Chunks of Riley's foundation continue to fall, threatening the seafloor dome. When your turn begins, if you're at a fully flooded location, you struggle for air. When your turn ends, if you did not enter an unflooded or partially flooded location, or decreased the flood level of your current location, take 5 direct damage. That is a mouthful. 7 doom to advance. Act 1A, reactivate the core. You can't open the barrier core until the undersea floor dome is at least partially drained. Each location is connected to each location adjacent to it. It's a 3x3 grid. We'll get to it in a second. Fast, spend 1 per investigator clues as a group to decrease your location's flood level. Objective, at the end of the round, if each surviving investigator is at barrier core active, you may advance. Hint, reactivating the barrier core by revealing and draining locations. Which makes sense because barrier core inactive is 4 shroud, 1 per investigator clues, C4, and central. Everything's seafloor traded. Forced, if 6 or more seafloor locations are revealed and not flooded, flip barrier core. As an action, I can decrease the flooded barrier core and choose any adjacent eligible location to increase the flood level of the chosen location, then place 3 clues on it. Group limit once per round. I've got a title tablet, which lets me move around flooding and also move at fast. And yeah. So I spent my XP basically just upgrading skill cards and things. I apparently had failed to upgrade or something because I had like 10 XP to spend. So yeah, I got a charisma, upgraded some cards, called it good. It's been a hot minute, so apologies for not exactly remembering where I was and what my deck looked like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards off the top of my deck. I start at the barrier core in the center of the map. It is a 3x3 grid. There is, as part of setup, one location is partially flooded, and that is the seafloor to my south, so the bottom middle. It's going to double check setup that it is partially flooded. Increase the flood level of 1 per investigator location, so it was not flooded, it is now partially flooded. We've got Daniel Jameson, Silas's net, overpower, manual dexterity, and slippery. Let's go ahead and ditch everything that's not an asset, which got me an overpower, a true awakening, and look what I found. Yes, obviously you want skills as Silas, but my deck is so full of skills that I'll find them quickly enough. I want my assets so I can hopefully charge through. I have a charisma now, so I can have Ruby and Daniel out at the same time, assuming I've got the money for it. I should have tossed back my net, but I didn't. Oh well. All right. Let's begin. It's kind of nice not having a mental trauma. We're going to play True Awakening to draw 2 cards, which is a Rough and a Hunter's Instinct. And I'll gain a clue. Easy enough. Then we're going to play Daniel Jameson. 1, 2, 3. And then each of the seafloors that are unrevealed have force when you enter this location. Increase the flood level of this location and an adjacent eligible location. So we're going to move to the seafloor to my west, so the middle left position. Blasted Ruins, Sunken Circle, 2 Shroud, 1 per investigator clues, and then increase its flood level. And an adjacent location, so and we'll put the flood down to the south. After you end your turn here, increase its flood level. Well, that's bad. Action investigators can spend 5 resources as a group to decrease the flood level of this location or an adjacent location. So I have played a card, I have played a card, I have moved, so let's I can fast decrease my, as I can spend a clue to decrease my location's flood level, but it's counterproductive to, let's Tidal Tunnel. So we'll increase my location's flood level and decrease another location's flood level. So we'll decrease the bottom left location as I move over there. Abyssal Trench. X Shroud, 1 per investigator clues. X is equal to the number of revealed seafloor locations, which is currently half the number of revealed seafloor locations rounded down. So 3 divided by 2 rounded down is 1. Reaction after you successfully fight or evade an enemy here, decrease its flood level. There is currently no flood level here. But I can change that if I need to. 1 per investigator clues. Shroud of 1. I can do Shroud of 1. Resource and a card. Siren Call. That's just what it is. 1 of 7 Doom, and we find Ominous Silence. Put Ominous Silence into play in your threat areas. Additional cost to play a card. You must either spend 1 resource or take 1 horror. As an action, test agility 3. If your location is not flooded, it automatically succeeds. If you succeed, discard it. Well, discard it. First action. Easy enough. Second and third action. Let's get rid of Siren Call. It's just a dead turn. I've accepted this. I'm going to just stay where I am. Resource and a card. Dreams of the Deep. I shuffled this. Alrighty then. 2 Doom, and I draw something in the water. Surge. Increase the level of the nearest eligible location. That's my location. And then fast, or not fast, but surge. Corrosive Fog. Test strength or agility 4. If you fail, take a damage. If you fail by 3 or more, instead, deal 1 direct damage to your investigator and each ally and item asset I control with health. So we're going to commit overpower Dreams of the Deep and Rough to this to be 2 up. -1. I need all of that in there, unfortunately, but we got Dreams of the Deep. And I get to draw a card. And I have stuff in my discard pile, which is important for if I draw an Elder Sign. Ooh, it's a longbow. That's good to have. I think I might get Ruby out first, but good to have. So first action, spend 4 resources, get Ruby. This bumps my agility to 6. And I can now move fast around. I'm going to investigate. I'm 1 up. Zero. Odds were decent. That got me a clue. And we're going to spend one of my clues to get rid of the flooding on this location. Then we're going to exhaust Ruby to move to the next sea floor, which increases its flooding and an adjacent flooding. We'll just pass it on. So the Coral Reef Feeding Grounds, bottom middle, is fully flooded. 4 Shroud, 3 per investigator clues. After it is revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is drawn, or is discarded, and then spawn it here. Hey, I found a persistent construct. Reaction: after you discover 1 or more clues here, spawn the set-aside undersea parasite enemy at this location. So I played Ruby, and I discovered a clue. Everything else has... And then I moved with Ruby. So I still have a Hermes action and a regular action. Let's evade 4 up. Tablet -4. Well, great. I don't have to worry about you. And we're going to fast decrease the flood level of this location using my clue. I have a Hermes action, but I want to stay here. Resource and a card. That got me Do or Die. Look, and then I've got Do or Die, Look What I Found, Hunter's Instinct, Net, Longbow. You're kind of worth killing, but I don't want to. 2 Doom. Sorry, 2 resources, 3 Doom. Eye of the Deep. Put Eye into Deep into play in your threat area. Limit 1 per investigator. Treat cultist, each cultist and tablet I reveal during my test as if we're an Elder Thing instead. Testable 3 to get rid of it. I don't hate that, actually. It makes tablets easier. Let's evade. -1. Evaded. Let's investigate. I'm going to commit Do or Die to be 1 down. That's terrible. That's an Elder Thing -3. I'll return Do or Die to my hand. I'm basically just fishing for... Let's investigate again, 2 down. I'm basically just fishing for a 0 or above. That's a -1. I need more icons in hand that I just don't have. Do I keep moving or do I keep... We're going to use route if there are no ready enemies at my location. So yeah, I'll move over to the next seafloor in the bottom right corner, which will fully flood it and flood backwards. For me, 3 Shroud, 2 clues. After you end your turn here, you must either increase the flood level of an adjacent location or take a damage. Well, that's not what I wanted. I could push forward, because this bottom corner is fully flooded, which I don't love. Let's push forward to the middle right location. Abyssal Trench. So that gets partially flooded, and something else gets flooded, which I will put at the barrier core, I guess. So X shroud, X is equal to half the number of revealed locations rounded down. There are 6 revealed locations, so the shroud is 3. And there is 1 clue here. After I successfully fight or evade an enemy here, decrease its flood level. Okay. A lot of high shrouds. You wake up, resource and a card. Another Daniel Jameson. I'm at 3 resources. 4 Doom. Another Eye of the Deep fizzles. Limit 1 per investigator. Okay. Don't have a lot going for me at the moment. I can move, and that's great. But it's not doing me a lot. I've got 6 cards in hand. Let's draw a card. Sea Change Harpoon. Okay. All right. If I can, the thing is I got so much free movements. So that's not the problem. I can, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to Hermes back to the Drowned Acropolis and then use Ruby to get over to the Drowned Acropolis. So I'm now at a fully flooded location. I've got this persistent construct on me. I will evade it. I'm 4 up. Skulls minus X. X is half the number of revealed locations, so it's -3. I'm fine. So let's go ahead and... So you're evaded. So all I did was draw a card and evade. Those are the only 2 real actions I've taken. So let's commit the Sea Change, the Silas's Net, the Sea Change Harpoon, and Do or Die to be 1 up. -2. Perfect. We're going to return Do or Die, and then we're going to spend 2, 1, 2, to play Look What I Found and discover 2 clues from this location. After I discover clues from this location, spawn the set-aside Undersea Parasite here. Undersea Parasite, 1 health, 5 fight, 5 evade, aloof, retaliate, monster glyph, elite. After it attacks me, flip it over and resolve its text. After it would, if it would leave play, flip it over, resolve its text. Okay. I forget if I want to beat this up or not. I think I just want to kill it. But it's aloof. It's here. I will spend both of my clues to decrease the flood level of this location back to... I'll decrease it once. I'll keep a clue and decrease it once. All right. Resource and a card. I got Do or Die. I've got 2 Do or Dies. 5 of 7 Doom. Deep One Ambush. Put Deep One Ambush into play in your threat area. Limit 1 per investigator. After a Deep One engages you, it attacks you. Then discard Deep One Ambush. Nothing I can do about it. Let's evade this persistent construct. Zero. Great. How good am I going to be at murdering you? Not great, actually, because of reason. So I'm going to gain a resource, putting me at 3, and then I'm going to spend all 3 of my resources to put down this longbow. And that's it for real actions. I'll murder this Undersea Parasite next turn, because it's just easier and better for me to use my agility than it is for me to use anything else. Resource and a card. True Awakening. Also very nice to have. 6 Doom. And I draw a Dreaming Migration. If there are no enemies in play, gain Surge. Otherwise, test will 3. If you fail, choose 1. The nearest enemy moves to your location and makes an immediate attack. Well, I've got this persistent construct on me, which I'm okay with. Yeah, I'm okay failing this. That's a skull, which is a -3. I failed by 3. I get hit for a damage. Ow. I'm going to fight using the longbow against the undersea parasite. I am 8v5. Let's commit a do or die to this to be 9-5. Yes, it's overkill, but it also lets me use my agility, which is just way better for me right now. Tablets, which are in fact elder things, and since I did not fully unflood this location, it is only a -3. You are dead. If this card flipped because the undersea parasite attacked you, nope. And then otherwise, after crushing the loathsome creature's carapace, you find a glint of something, an alien symbol, question mark. I discovered that glyph, which means sum, S-U-M, translated glyph. That one, it means sum. Great. Add you to the victory display. Then we're going to evade this construct. Oh, I did have the do or die. Do I want to leave the do or die into this? If I leave the do or die into this, I can take back that look what I found, which would be nice. So yeah, I'll leave the do or die in this so I can take back the look what I found. Then we'll evade 4 up. Elder Sign. The only thing that I can commit to I can commit do or die. I can commit rough. Rough's not terrible. Let's take back rough because there's currently there are no assets, there are no survivor assets or event in my discard pile for do or die to target. So I'll take rough back. Thanks. You're evaded. I have 1 real action left. I will play True Awakening, which will let me draw 2 cards. Hidden Shelter and Glassing. Ooh, Glassing. And then I will discover this clue, putting me at 2 clues. I will fast spend one of those clues to fully unfold this location. I will then use Ruby Standish to fast leave this location, and then I will fast spend my other clue to only have this the next location be partially flooded. Magic. A lot of flooding around, though, which is problematic, but it's fine. You'll wake up, resource and a card. I've got 2 resources, and I just drew track shoes. I don't need more movement. Maybe I didn't need to bring this tidal tunnel. We are at 7 of 7 doom, and I found a seafloor leviathan, giant aquatic medusaloid. 4 health, well, 7 health, 2 fight, 2 evade. Massive patrol, nearest flooded or nearest unflooded or partially flooded location. Spawns at the barrier core. He gets +3 health, which is why he's 7 health. When the enemy phase begins, if this enemy is ready, increase the flood level of its location. That is problematic. All right, Agenda 2A, Collapsing Dome. The dome won't hold much longer against the barrage of falling rock. When your turn begins, if you are at a fully flooded location, you struggle for air. When your turn ends, if you did not enter it unflooded or same text. 7 doom to advance. There's no resign. So what happens if I time out? Because unless I start really picking up the pace, I'm on track to time out. Infernal Machinery goes into play in my threat area. I cannot trigger abilities on glyph or artifact cards, which currently is nothing. So fine. I'm going to investigate. We're going to commit do or die to be even. -1. I will return do or die to fail by 2 or less, and I will spend $2 to discover 2 clues at this location. 1, 2. By using look what I found. I'll spend 1 of those to fully unflood this location, and then we'll move up to the Abyssal Trench using my Hermes action. So I have 2 regular actions. We're gonna knock my longbow. And fast move in with tidal tunnel to increase my location but decrease the barrier core to keep him here longer. And then I still have a clue, which means I could unflood it later. But then I have 2 regular actions with which I will shoot with the longbow. -2, that's 3 damage. And then I honestly don't care if I get hit that much. So I will spend the action to knock the longbow. But in doing so, that does provoke an attack of opportunity. And I will be taking an attack during the enemy phase. So I'll take 2 damage onto myself, and then a horror on Ruby and a horror on Daniel. But that's fine. Resource and a card, and you flood this location. Got another rough. Rough only gets better the more damage I take. Right, we are now at 1 of 7 doom, and I draw a crumbling masonry. Test agility X, where X is my location's printed shroud. If you fail, take 2 damage. All right, I'm going to commit do or die to this to be 3 up. Skulls are -3. I do need the do or die. I'm going to leave the do or die to pick up the liquid I found. And now we're going to beat you up, because that's what we're doing today. Shoot the longbow. -2, that's 3 more damage. Now we're just going to punch you, because punching you is fine. Committing rough to this punch puts me at 4, 5, 6. So for every 2 damage on me, which is currently 3, rounded up, so 4, gains a wild. So it gains 2 additional wild, so it's worth 4. I'm 6 up. Skull -3. I do need the rough. So I will leave the rough in and kill the seafloor Leviathan. Begone, foul demon. I still need to unflood a whole bunch of places. So let's start working on that. We're going to use Ruby to make it over to the Abyssal Trench that's fully flooded. We'll decrease its flood level by 1, spending my 1 clue. And then we will investigate using... Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to fast... put glassing down on the barrier core, because I can pull enemies in there to investigate off of it, which also means... So let's undo the spending of the clue, because I need to get 3 clues on it. Oh, I put 3 clues on the chosen location. Decrease the flood level of the barrier core and choose an adjacent eligible location. Okay, if that's the case, we're going to decrease the barrier core, but none of them, I can't currently put anything on them, so give me the glassing back. That doesn't work like I want it to. Because I need to get clues off of places. I need to have... Wow, this is silly, but we're going to do it. We are going to use the tidal tunnel to increase the barrier core and decrease the trench. Decrease the trench. Well, I know I've got enough movement, it doesn't matter. And decrease the blasted ruins. Then we are going to add 3 clues to it, putting it at 4 clues. Because my level changed, I can then fast move over using the tidal tablet. Then I will investigate at even. That is an automatic failure. That sets me to 0. I will spend 2 resources to play Look What I Found to get 2 of these clues. Thank you. Putting me at 3 clues. I will get rid of the one. I'll get rid of the 1 flood here. I will use Ruby to move back to the barrier core and spend 2 clues to fully unflood the barrier core. And then I'm going to Hermes over to the Abyssal Trench. No, I'm going to stay here because I want to pull the enemy over with me. So I'll just end my turn here and bring the Persistent Construct with me because why do I care? I don't. So you're going to move up and attack me for a damage. We're going to put that damage on myself because it makes rough better. Resource and a card. Slippery. 2 of 7 doom, and we draw Medusa, monster. Aloof, patrols the nearest unflooded or partially flooded location. When the enemy phase begins, if it is ready, increase the flood level of its location. If you cannot, place 1 doom on Medusa, not your average jellyfish. You're aloof, which is annoying. I'm going to use my title tablet to increase the flood level of the barrier core and decrease the flood level of the Abyssal Trench to fast move over and not take the attack of opportunity. I am then going to evade at this location. -2, that's a success. You have been evaded. That decreases the flood level of this location, which is what I want. I have taken 1 real action. I'm going to investigate. I am at 2. Rough gets me 3 wild, which puts me at 5. Gets me to 5. I don't love it, so I'm 2 up, using rough to investigate. 0. I do need the rough for this, but I got a clue off of this, which I will hold on to because I'll need it for in just a minute. So I've taken 2 actual actions. Oh, shoot. Shoot. I need the actions. I evaded. I'm taking back the rough. I need to deal with the Medusa because I don't have any... The clues are the problem. So I will Ruby back over, ready the longbow, and shoot it at the Medusa. Elder Sign. Sure. Sorry to take back actions, but I'm just like trying to think about what I really need. We'll take the rough to make my life getting clues easier, and we'll murder this Medusa. You're dead. So I need to get a clue and bring it back to the barrier core to flip the barrier core because I need to get rid of the... There are 6 locations revealed, but only one of them is partially flooded, and it's the barrier core. Okay. Ready everything. It's probably easier for me to go to the Blasted Ruins. Resource and a card. Another Hidden Shelter. 3 doom. How many cards do I have in hand? 2 roughs, a slippery, 2 hidden shelters, a glassing, a hunter's instinct, a track shoes, and Daniel Jameson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's discard Daniel Jameson. As I draw Elder Mist attached to the nearest location without Elder Mist. Each investigator attached location gets -1 to everything. After an investigator at attached location succeeds a skill test by 2 or more, discard it. Unfortunate, but fine. So we're going to fast over to the Blasted Ruins, where I'm even to investigate. We're going to commit rough to be 3 up. Skulls are -3 still, so I got the clue, and then I will Hermes... Ruby's over and then Hermes back to fully unflood this location. So I have 2 regular actions. At the end of the round of each surviving investigators at the barrier core, you may advance. Okay. So 4 shroud null clues if there are 5 or fewer unflooded seafloor locations. Flip barrier core. I can spend 2 clues as a group to put the set aside. Oh, I need to get more clues. Okay. So okay. I have 2 regular actions left. At the end of the round, if each surviving investigator is at the barrier core, you may advance. So I need to stay here. So I've got 2 actions and I don't know what I'm doing. Let's put a Hunter's Instinct down. That cost me 2 resources. And then let's gain a resource to keep my resource engine going. Has 3 supplies. I'm going to be exhausting it when I take a damage from this persistent construct, but that's fine. I'm going to get back a look what I found. And then we're going to get a resource and a card, putting me at 3 resources, and I drew a manual dexterity. We advance. At the end of the round, if each surviving... Oh, I need to, like... Sorry, I thought there was another agenda. There is, or another act. There is not another act. I'm not going to advance because I want to get the core. So we keep playing. For Doom... Persistent construct. Oh, that's annoying. We are going to evade. I'm going to commit Slippery to this. I do get a -1 because of the Elder Mist, but I'm at 6 to 2. And I committed Slippery. -3, I succeeded, and you don't ready. Let me mark that you don't ready. But I did not succeed by 2. I succeeded by 1. And then we're going to commit manual dexterity on evading the second one. No, I'm just going to kill you with my longbow. I'm at 7 to 2. -5 because my location is not flooded. I failed. I'm going to exhaust Daniel Jameson to try that again. -1. You're dead. My longbow doesn't have an arrow in it, and I have 1 regular action left. So, might as well Ruby on over to the... Well, I've got a Hermes action too. We're going to go over to the Blasted Ruins, where I'm going to attempt to get this clue. I'll commit glassing to this to be... two up. -2. That's a clue. And then we'll Hermes on back to the center, because it doesn't... Or well, Ruby / Hermes as I need to make it back to the center is to not trigger that forced ability. The next turn I just need to go get the clue from the Abyssal Trench, and then I can do that. Resource and a card. Timely Intervention. Not sad to see you. 5 of 7 Doom. The Persistent Construct does not ready. I draw Voltaic Eel. 5 health, 4 fight, 2 evade, monster, hunter, praise most clue. When moving during the enemy phase, each fully flooded location is considered to be connected to one another, and it is victory 1. I mean, sure, but I don't want to deal with you right now. We're gonna... I'm 4 up. We're gonna commit manual dexterity. And I get an event from my discard pile when you engage me, with which I will get glassing. Thank you. 6 up. -1. I don't need the manual dexterity, so I'll take it back. The Voltaic Eel is exhausted. Let's Hermes on over to the Abyssal Trench. I am 1 down. Let's commit Look What I Found to this and glassing to this to be 6 to 3. Elder Sign. Okay. I'll take a rough. Thanks. And I already took something back this round. I took the manual dexterity back. Great, I got the clue. I'm at 2 clues. We're going to Hermes on back or Ruby back, whichever one applies. So I still have 1 regular action. I will get the barrier node into play under my control to prevent shenanigans from coming in and wrecking that. Barrier node cannot be defeated or leave play. When your turn begins, heal damage from it. And then if I have all the signs, which I'll check later, we do that. So I could leave right now, and honestly, probably should. So at the end of the round, I will advance. I have the barrier node. The strange orb sends a ripple of energy throughout the orrery and the surrounding dome. By pulling the node free, you have stolen the only thing powering the dome. Excuse me. A tremor shakes the structure as the energy field above begins to dissipate. R1. Say what you will, I've got movement down. Silas Marsh is alive. The strange node pulses in your hand, projecting a soft bubble of light that repels falling debris. You make it to the entrance of the dome. As the dome bursts like a bubble, the expedition looks on in a mixture of awe and fear as a torrent of seawater reclaims the alien structure. A small prick of pain shoots through your palm, and you look down to see the node bury itself into your palm, sending spidery black hairs radiating out under your skin. They retract painlessly when you pull the node away. Tillinghast will certainly be pleased with this find. Okay. The energy field protecting the tunnel back to the city continues to hold strong. The jagged foundations of Riley continue to break off into pieces as the city rises. It's time to move on. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 XP. Whatever I will do with it, I'm not 100% sure. Okay. And that's that. That went from me being like, I'm going way too slow to everything's under control and fine. It's a weird, this deck has weird pacing. Like I can, once I have enough in the discard pile and I've got enough that I found the pieces I need to keep it moving. It's not so bad, but like in the beginning, if I'm not finding those pieces, it's clunky to say the least, but neither here nor there. Hope this was fun. I'm going to set up and take down and play the next one to try to catch up, and we'll see you then. So if you want to get in contact with me, feel free to reach out to me at therestrictedcollection@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can find me around as Head Librarian Chad. Thanks for listening.